All right, page 11. It says, which of the following is equivalent to? So we need to solve this and find out what it equals to. Okay? So what is a good number to start off with, everybody?
3.
Or 2. You could always start off with 2. Okay? So every time you see a C, plug it in. 3 times 2 plus 6 minus 5 times 2. So let's do what's in the parentheses first. That's going to be 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24 minus 10. So my answer, everybody, is 14. But again, you do not see 14 in the answer choices. So what you have to do is you see the variable C, and we know C equals 2, and we plug it in. And to find our match made in heaven, I'm going to go straight to the answer to save time. 3C squared plus C. Okay, 3 times 2 squared plus 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2 equals, ding, 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 match made in heaven. Okay, the next one. I'll do that after. Okay, when we look at number 4, which of the following expressions is equivalent to 2a to the half? Okay, so this is already freaking out some of you guys. Okay, so what I do want to teach you guys before this is what this square root means. Okay, so another way to write the square root is there's an invisible 2 here, and there's to these numbers there's an invisible 1. So if you were to write it in the exponent form, it would be this. Have you guys ever learned this before? Okay, if you have not, now you know. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys several examples before I get into number 4. Okay, I'm going to use some whack numbers. Okay, 100 and then 11 over 17. If this is 100 to the exponent of, sorry, the exponent's kind of low. So it's 100 to the exponent 11 over 17. If someone were to say, write that in a square root form, how do you do that? You leave the 100 and the top number inside the hood. Okay, and then on this little crevice of the hood, you put in 17. That's how you write it in the exponent or the square root form. Okay, and then I'm going to give you some jacked up square root form right now. Okay, 22 Now, if someone gives you this crazy looking square root and says, take this and put it into the exponent form. Do you guys all know how to do it now? It would be 22. The 3 stays up here. Swing this 47 back down here. Do you guys get that? That's how it works. Okay? This is on the SAT very often. And your teachers may or may not have taught that to you. So now you know. Okay, let's just do one more. Everybody write that in the square root form. And your number should look like this. 11 to the 9, and put that all under the root, and then you put a 6 right here. You guys good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's do one more of the other kind, okay? Everybody, please write this square root in the exponent form. And you should have 7 to the 11 over 5. Did you guys all get that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we're set on this. So what you're going to do with this question is, sorry, I'm making a video right now. You're going to take this, and I think the easiest way that you could do this is go 2a to the half times, and then it's going to be 1 over 2. Because we already looked at exponents, you know that this number is going to be affected by it, and this number will be affected by it. So 2 to the half is basically the same thing as square root of 2, right? And then this right here is going to be a times, and then you multiply these right here. 1 times 1 is 1, and then 2 times 2 is 4. And which answer matches that is going to be answer A. So rather than plugging in a number, I do think that this is an easier way. Yes.
Where do we go?
We multiply the 2 times the 2 to get the 4. Okay. Number 6. Which of the following is equivalent to m over 2 times 6m minus 4 over 3m plus 1? Okay, so the easiest number I see right off the bat is 2. You always start off with 2 anyways, but why is 2 a great number to put here? Because it cancels out to an invisible 1. You don't even have to have any drama with that side. So we're going to say m equals 2. So when we do that, when you fill a 2 in there, that's basically a 1 and it disappears, okay? And that multiple sign then disappears as well. So 6 times 2 minus 4 over 3 times 2 plus 1. That's going to be 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. Okay, so my target number is going to be 8 over 7. You don't see the answer 8 over 7 in A, B, C, D. But what you can do is plug in your number of 2. I'm going to go straight to the answer. 6 times m squared minus 4m over 6m plus 2. Okay, so when I go 6 times 2 squared, which is 4, minus 4 times 2 over 6 times 2 plus 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 6 is 24. 8. 24 minus 8 is 16. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 2 is 14. I could reduce this by taking 2 out of each one. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 14 divided by 2 is 7. I got my match made in heaven. Okay, and the last question here is number 7. It says here, in football, a player's statistic for offensive yards in the sum of his rushing yards and his receiving yards. In a football, a player's statistics for offensive yards is the sum of his rushing yards and his receiving yards. Okay, so I don't know football, so I'm just going to take some notes, okay? Offensive yards equal rushing plus receiving. Okay? Ali is the running back on a football team. He averages 60 yards rushing. So he's going to do 60 yards rushing and 20 yards receiving per game during the regular season. So 20 yards receiving. During playoff games, Ali's rushing yards are 12% greater on average than his rushing yards in the regular game. So during playoffs is 12% more. Okay? Which of the following represents Ali's total number of offensive yards he plays during playoff games? Okay, so we know that we know that it's going to be whatever he does plus 12%. So whatever he does is always 100. Okay, so 100 plus 12% is what? 100, or 100 is like 1.00, okay? And then percent would be 0.12. So which one can we already cross out? A, okay? So we know that it's going to be 100% plus 12, okay? So that's why it's 1.12. And then we know that he's going to do 60% better on the rushing. So let's just give this a number, okay? And he's gonna do 12% better, but it's gonna be 60 times this plus 20 times that. Okay, and which one do you guys see? Which one do you guys see that it says that he's gonna do 12% greater on average than his rushing yards in the regular season? Did they say the receiving yards? No, just the rushing. So which one of these is only for the rushing?
D.
D. Good. And that's how you answer that. You don't even have to really plug in any numbers for this one. If you could use your common sense, like the way that D is set up, 1.12 is multiplied to just the rushing. And then the rest is just added in.
Where does it
Okay.
say just rushing?
We know that this one is rushing because it says, during playoff games, Ali's rushing yards are 12% greater on average than his rushing yards in regular season. They don't mention anything about the receiving. So you know that that 12% is only going to be applied to the rushing. Okay? And you see that B also has that, but you see that the 20 is not multiplied to a game. Okay? So that's why that is the correct answer.